I tell people all the time, I'm getting ready to answer your question. It's answering it, but something else too. But
Okay.
I tell people all the time, like, when you in this game, even my employees, like, if you the cook, you the bartender, you the dishwasher, the cleanup man, everybody is just as important as the owner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when I was at Dream Divas and I was at Plush, now that I see that you could really be successful in this business, I'm like, damn, I'm coming home $4,000 or $5,000 on a Thursday, but the owner, he going home with $30,000. You know what I mean? I'm like, man, one day I gotta own my spot. But I just sat back and played my position. I learned how the bartenders moved. I learned how the security moved, how the kitchen moved. I was just sitting back soaking up game,
Studying the game,
because
yeah.
that's like college in itself. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm basically, this is my internship right here. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm learning everything because I'm still learning. Even though I'm on the owner side now, it's a flip side. I'm still learning a lot, but it's like I'm getting $1 million worth of game for free.
Dreamers Welcome Podcast.
Dreamers Welcome Podcast. We back in the building, ladies and gentlemen. I go by CEO PESO. Very blessed and highly favored. Live from Moves Media. Entrepreneur talk, man. I got my Gene here. Somebody that's been a staple to the city for the past decade or more. As far as when I met him, it was years ago. But my man, he is a very well respected individual in the city of Dayton and beyond. Please introduce yourself for the people.
What's up, man? I'm Brandon, man. Owner of Napoleons Reloaded. Reloaded Cleaning Solutions, Jefferson Township Auto Spa.
Let's go, man. Appreciate you,
You
man.
already know, for sure. Appreciate
Long
you.
time coming, man. How you
Yes,
feeling,
sir.
though, bro?
I'm good, man. Blessed and highly favored, man, no matter what, you know?
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Absolutely. I had to break the hook out. Be showing love every time I come up there, man. Shouts out to my G Julio. He be calling me like, bro, the hookah hitting. Nice little vibes up at Naples, man.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, bro, I just want to, you know, man, just tap in for people who might not be aware of who you are or, you know, the things that you've done, accomplished. So we're going to get into a lot of that. But,
Yes, sir.
First, man, let's get into your upbringing, you know, just where you from, born and raised, and how was it on the upbringing side?
Oh, man, I'm born and raised Dayton, Ohio. Actually, Jefferson Township, Route 4, you know what I mean? Been on the 4 my whole life, man. I tell people all the time, I got a joke, I got a saying. I'm a pony, I'm a coat and a Bronco, because we was Blairwood ponies, Radcliffe Colts, Jefferson Broncos. So I'm,
If you know, you know.
yeah, K through 12. I like to say I'm the mayor of Jefferson. Shit.
Hey,
for real.
hey.
I'm literally a pony, a coat, and a Bronco. Goddamn it.
Mayor Jefferson. I ain't heard nobody say it,
For
so
real,
nigga,
man.
yeah,
Like,
you heard it right
seriously.
here. Nah, that's clutch though, man. So man, JT to me, man, it was like I grew up in Trotwood. That was obviously up the way, but it seemed so its own place back when I was growing up, man. So
It still is.
yeah, it absolutely like you up there for a reason. Like no matter what, when
You gotta think. From all the generations on down, everybody know everybody. Like I said, I know all the people from the 70s, 80s, some older that's done passed away. Our kids grew up together. Our parents grew up together. They went to school together. It's a close knit community. You know what I mean? When I graduated, when I went to Jefferson, it was probably only 250 kids.
yeah.
Probably only 25 in the graduating class. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
could you imagine how the classrooms was, how they was
Nah.
just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It ain't like your big D1 school, 5,000 kids.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We got 250 kids, 300 kids at tops.
And that's what blew
In
my
a high
mind.
school.
Yeah, that's what blew my mind too when I got hit because it just was like, damn, like JT school that small. Like
Yeah,
I went
for
to
sure.
Trotwood, so we had just a plethora, like a lot of people.
Yeah.
Though. So that's my first recollection of like, damn, like it's a very like just close knit.
Yeah, it
area.
was like that since elementary. Like our teachers was more like our like what's the word I'm looking for? Like literally like our mentors, our fathers, our mothers outside of being at home, because you spend a lot of just as much time at that age. You spend as much time in school as you do at home. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it was like shit, everything to us too as well, for real.
Yeah. Like
Yep.
and it like everybody really know everybody.
No, for sure.
And then like when I be like I said, my uptown niggas, when I talk to them, it'd be like you said, generational people just knowing people from just way back.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I do like though. It's just a close knit community, and then I got my uptown stripes when we had the studio up there. So
See, like when I was growing up, man, we had Jefferson Township was booming. You know what I mean? It was all black owned. This was before the Arabs even came to the city. You know, I remember when they first hit, but when I was growing up, we had Napoleon. When you come down in the Route 4, coming into Jefferson, you had Napoleons, which was owned by a black man, of course. You had the whole store out there, Speedway.
McDonald's was up there.
McDonald's was up there at the top. That was considered more Dayton. That was the hill.
Okay.
That wasn't really considered Jefferson Township. You didn't consider Jefferson Township till you came over to right there where y'all had the studio at the split. Right there
at the Y and all that.
YMCA.
Yeah, and it say welcome to Jefferson Township.
That's when it became Jefferson Township. But we had all that plaza right there. That was black owned by Mr. Smith. And you know, we had the Napoleons as well, you know, rest in peace, Mr. Payton. But then you come down, you had Marable's Party Room that was owned by Mr. Marable. You had the party room up top. Then you had another club called, which it was a bunch of names, but when I was coming up, it was Chocolate City at that time.
Yeah.
And the man Puddin had it. They had 19th Hole. So then you come down.
That was, yep.
Then you come down, you had Spunky's, or Club Aristos, owned by another Jefferson Township native. Used to look out for us, Sean Pierce. You had Club Aristos. Then you go down again and you had the K9.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, me and my friends, we would ride around on the weekends and we hit all the spots on our bikes, just parking lot pimping on the bike. Just, man, I'm telling you, it was a time to be alive out there in Jefferson back then, boy. It was jumping.
And because like I said, I didn't even know all of that was up there, but it just sounded like it was just, you didn't even have to lead a community to just.
Don't let out JT days in the summer.
Yeah, I was about to say JT days. That was
one of the biggest
staple.
One of the biggest carnivals events in the city for real.
I used to love going up there for that.
Sir.
Man. That shit was dope.
I remember when JT days. Time out. I remember when JT days was in the parking lot of Spunky's though, where Aristos was at before it went to Judge Fisher.
Yeah, Judge Fisher Park.
Yes.
Yep.
JT days used to be in that parking lot right there.
So that's dope. Because Judge Fisher was like, it was like
it got so big. It was only there a couple years. It got so big they instantly moved it to Yep.
And I didn't even know that park was there. So it's like I said, it's just your own community up there. Not to get into Route 4 politics, but I find it funny how you just got me together on like the McDonald's part and the Shell is more Dayton.
I mean, we was cool with them guys. You know, a lot of them guys. You know, I know personally, we all played basketball at the Y. Mm-hmm. We had some big time rivalries on the court at the YMCA back then.
I can believe it.
They call themselves the Hill. They from the Hill.
Right.
That's
okay.
McDonald's, you know.
Yeah.
McDonald's BP. That's the Hill right there. But yeah, they consider themselves now uptown.
Yeah, but it still be like the specifics of like.
Yeah.
Like what's really uptown, like not down the hill and all that. I'll just be like, yeah, bro. The uptown politics is like if you know type shit. But man, so I want to get into just your first spill into like entrepreneurship, like where it first started. And this is me getting knowledge on you too. Like I did some research and everything, asking people questions, whatever. Okay. But what was like your first entrepreneurship idea or goal that you accomplished that kind of kickstarted this into now? Because you, like you said, business owner, promoter.
As far as the club stuff or just business, period?
Let's just go business first.
All right. I was about 21 and I met this guy, without saying too much, he was living across the street from me. I was married, I was young, and I was doing my thing or whatever the case may be. And my neighbor, he was dating my neighbor. He was from out of town. And he was dating my neighbor, and he, you know, used to come over and shit. We smoke a little bud and shit. We kicking it, and he would see the little traffic coming in and out the house. He was like, he's like, man, what you be doing? You know, told him what I be doing. A couple of days later, he was like, man, you know, I don't mean to be disrespectful or nothing. He's like, but you know, you ain't really getting no money, man. You kind of like in the way for real. Like,
God damn.
Nah, for real.
Kind of in the way?
Yeah, that's what he told me. He's like, man, you in the way, you know. He was like, man, I'm going to help you out with some things. And, you know, a couple of weeks went past. He helped me out with some things. And then all of a sudden he was just like, one day we was riding. He was like, man, I got an idea, man. He was like, we got a bunch of them in Indianapolis. We got mobile washes. And I was like, well, we don't really have them here. Like, I don't know how that'll really work out. You know what I mean? Like, I think it was one old man doing it named Junior. He had the mobile wash where he come to you, wash your car, detail your car, wherever you at. My dude, like, man, I think it'll make a killing. Like, you want to go half on it with me? I was like, no, I don't know. So make a long story short, he wasn't from Dayton. He went back where he was from. He knew somebody that was selling like 5 mobile washers already ready to go. He came back with one like, shit, let's go, let's ready to rock and roll. He didn't know nobody. He knew me. So I was kind of like the blueprint of the going out. Yeah. The first day we went out, bro, we made like $800-900. From sun up to sundown, we went out. I called all my homeboys, every nigga I knew, and we went and detailed their car.
I better say, so it just went, you just started hitting the people that you knew.
Yeah, like hey, bro, like we about to pull up on you and wash you up. They like, shit, I'm up here, I'm uptown, I'm over here, I'm over there. Next thing you know, shit, it took off like skyrocketed. And we went back to go buy all the vans and they were sold. So we just rocked that one for that whole summer. Mm-hmm. We literally rolled it out. And then we ended up getting a car wash on 3rd and Alder up there by AutoZone. And I kind of really fell in love with detailing cars then at the age by that time I was about 22. Yeah. And so that's how I started. So I've been detailing since 22 till now. Shit, I'm almost 20 years in for real.
Yeah. Yep. We gonna get into the wash up there too, man. So okay, man. Shouts out to homie, like at least being honest with you, but then taking
that's my guy.
Under your wing.
And still to this day, like real good friend of mine, man. One of the smartest guys I know. Shout out to my dude, man. He from Indianapolis. He just came home from doing a little vacation for a long time, but yeah, that's my guy, man. He into the stocks, he into the dogs, everything you can think of. He one of them type people, man. Like
got his hand
man, and if he may not know nothing about it, but you couldn't tell him that. Like he gonna figure it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He gonna get it out the mud. I don't care what it is. He gonna get it done. You know what I mean? Real good guy, man. And one day he really gonna hit his niche and he gonna take everybody with him to the top because he's just that type of guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's some real feedback of like you in the way, but I'm gonna help you out to get up there with it. You see people like that now that you have like that you have helped or that you would help, like in a sense of what
sure.
he did?
Yeah, for sure, all the time. I done gave people the game. Also, he was one of the first people that we did shows with too, like far as bringing artists and stuff like that, because he had his own record label. Like I said, he was involved in a lot of stuff. So me, him, and my cousin, we ended up doing some shows in Columbus. It was an old school pimp. He had a club up in Columbus at that time, one of the nicest clubs in Columbus. He ended up passing away, but we did a couple acts up there before he passed away. And that's kind of like really what really started the promotion stuff, but not really. I still was kind of stuck in my lane of what I was doing at that time because I was still young. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Man, yeah, shouts out to him though. Just like, I mean, a solid mentor that just kind of like was hands-on game for real. So man, just tapping into the promotions as well. So when was this conversion of like you started just really going gung ho? Was it so after the detailing in the car wash? Well, you said that's always been around.
Yeah. I was always doing that. Always doing the detailing, but the promotion and the club stuff came into play. My dude Bang, shout out to my dude Bang, another uptown legend for real, Jefferson Township, born and raised. He had ended up getting a vault. You remember the vault downtown?
Yep, $2 Tuesdays.
Yep, he ended up getting a vault, and he wanted to do something like Bang. Kind of always been behind the scenes type of guy, like not really out in the forefront, like one of them type of guys. If you knew, you knew. If you didn't, you didn't. You know what I mean?
All the same.
Right, and so. He was kind of figuring out, like, man, what I want to do. He was like, you just mentioned $2 Tuesdays. He was like, I don't really want to do the $2 Tuesdays. I don't want to do the $3 Thursdays, shit that everybody else doing. I want to do something different. Mm-hmm. So I was like, man, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, but this my guy. I want to help him out. My cousin Mike Payne.
Shouts out to Payne.
Yeah, he used to be like, man, B, bro, you need to throw parties. I'm like, man, I don't throw no damn parties. Like, that ain't what I do. You know what I mean?
Because he was doing that shit. He was doing
the team parties, Yep. He used to be like, man, you need to throw some parties, bro. Like, you'll be the perfect promoter. I'm like, man, I ain't no damn promoter. Like, you know, I'm a street nigga. You know, you couldn't tell me I wasn't going to be the next.
Promoting shit.
The next, goddamn it, whatever it was, whoever it was going to be. But, yeah, so I was back and forth to Cincinnati at the time. And another pioneer in the game, TC, got a bunch of clubs in Cincinnati and Indianapolis and stuff. You ever heard of, like Bugattis, everybody going to now? Bugattis.
My man just said it was there.
Newport, all that shit like that. TCE involved in all of that. But I used to go down there and get sections from TC at one of his clubs called the Red Room all the time. He's like, B, man, how the hell you know everybody in Cincinnati? Like, man, you ever thought about promoting? I'm like, nah, my cousin always be asking me to promote. He like, man, you know everybody, bro. He like, you got the perfect formula, like, to be successful in this game. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I was just like, nah. So one day I ended up getting a section. He's like, man, your man own that club down there called The Vault, don't he? I'm like, yeah. He's like, man, I got an event that I'm doing. I want to turn y'all on to. He's like, I want to think about doing it. He was like, Dayton, y'all don't really be having no big acts like that. You know, he's like, I got all the line on everybody. I've been bringing people for the last 15, 20 years. I know these people personally. I can bring all type of acts to Dayton. And I got this certain event I think it'll pop. You know, I want y'all to come down and check it out. I'm going to give y'all a section and just tell me what y'all think. He was like, because I was just going to turn him on to my man. Like, you know, you can do it. I don't want to do it. I want no parts of it. You know what I mean?
Connecting to him, yeah.
So me, my dude and his wife, we went down to Cincinnati and went to this event. It was a bikini boxing event. And at the end of the night, it's like, damn, this was a dope-ass event. Like, this shit was nice, like real nice. And he was like, yeah, man. He's like, what y'all think? I was like, shit, this was dope. He's like, man, how much money you think I made tonight? And I was like, give or take, probably 15, 20,000 or something. And he threw a number out there, and I was like, tonight? You made that in one night? He's like, yeah, 4 hours. I was like, shit, sign me up. Like, how the hell like, if this what you doing? Like,
proof.
I don't know, doctors, lawyer, nobody making this type of money. Like, he's like, yeah, man, after I pay my security, do this, that, and the third. Like, this is what I'm taking home tonight. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm sold now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we ended up trying to get the event at the Vault. And we was going about it the right way, trying to get licensed from the state, from the boxing commission, real licensed doctors, nurses. Every step of the way, every location we went to, we got turned down. So we was back to the drawing board like, man, like, what we gonna do? And I traveled a lot. I've been all over the world. I was like, I know a couple dancers and shit that be on TV, like video vixens. Mm-hmm. And these like my personal homegirls, like my friends, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can call them up, tell them we'll give them a couple dollars, or tell them we'll pay for their plane, their airfare, their travel fee, and guarantee them that they gonna make a bag, and if not, we'll just cash them out some money. So we did a strip night. It wasn't even called I Love Them Stripper Sundays. We did a strip night, and the first one we did, we had I think 4 dancers. They made like 35,000 in one night. So
like
this
collectively.
All together.
Yeah.
They didn't come together. They came from different cities and states.
Yeah.
But when that money got to come, they like, shit, bitch, we just gonna work together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll bust this bag down at the hotel. We literally, Linlo and Dealer went back to the hotel with them. They counted money all night long till the sun came up. They were still counting when the sun came up.
35.
And this was when Instagram was really like getting to its peak. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And these girls had 300,000 and 400,000 followers. I probably had, bro, no lie, 200-300 followers. I woke up, and they was shotting me out with the money, with the bags of money. So these girls was like top vixens, video vixens, dancers in the industry. So they got all the girls that's up under them trying to be like them, following them on Instagram. So when they shotted me out, like shout out to Dayton, Ohio, shout out to such and such. I woke up to literally like 300-400 DMs of girls from all over the United States asking like, what's Dayton, Ohio? What's even in Dayton? What's the Vault? Like, can we come work? And I didn't even know how to respond. So it was these girls from Indianapolis that I was cool with called the Money Team. And they like, look, B, this how this work. You invite the girls, they pay a fee to work. And we was literally having like 100 girls coming to work from anywhere from a 3-4 hour, 5 hour drive radius. Every Sunday they was coming to work, and it just took off like that. Far as on the stripper party side, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we was doing nothing but cream of the crop. We had everybody you could think of: Cash Doll, Miracle Watts, Leela Galore, Drake's girlfriend. Man, I'm talking about. I can't even name them all. You know?
Yeah.
Like, and that's just really what kind of like just rocket fueled everything we was doing, and then it spilled over into we ended up finding the Chrysler Union Hall, and we started doing the bikini boxing there, and we murdered them there. We killed them.
So, okay, wait a minute. Let me go back to this question, though. So, the breakdown of, like, when y'all was bringing the strippers in is basically, like, get them a fee to get them here, and then will y'all get a cut from it, or?
So, what happened is, okay, I'm going to give you just a quick snippet of it.
Yeah.
Like when I, cause I didn't know nothing about how a strip club is ran,
Right.
a tip-in, a house mom, and all this old type of stuff like that. So the girls from Indianapolis, we was gonna name it. We didn't even have a name for it yet. We was gonna call it Money Team Sundays because the girls from Indianapolis was called the Money Team.
They already had their popularity.
Yeah, it was like 6 of them. Yeah. And so she like, B, we not gonna call it Money Team Sunday because they gonna get burnt out on us in about another 2-3 weeks anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you want to keep it exclusive. We didn't let no Dayton girls work. It was all strictly out of town girls because that was our marketing scheme. Like, we want to give you an out of town feel. We still got stripper nights all over Dayton to this day. You know what I mean? Like, we was literally going through like 50,000 ones every Sunday. We had to fill out paperwork for the IRS because they thought we was money laundering ones. I'm like, why would we be laundering ones? Like, when we be laundering big bills, they're like, well, maybe this is a new approach or something that people are doing. Like, it was crazy. Now, the girls would pay us to work. It's called a tip-in. At first, we was doing a tip-out where the girls would have to pay the money when they got done working at the end of the night.
Right.
So if we had 50, 60, 70 girls paying $200, they'd be like, oh, we didn't make no money. But they was lying. Like, how y'all didn't make no money? We went through 50,000 ones tonight. Like,
Right.
So they like, scratch that. They got to pay when they walk in the door. You know what I mean? They got to pay.
Actual strippers.
Yes, they paid us to work. We was probably making $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 off just girls just coming to work before we collected any money off the door, anything.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So they cutting out that shit of them trying to take the extra cheese, reverse it. Man, shouts out to the honesty of motherfuckers who be trying to help people out because I never understood how the stripper game work.
Like, yeah, when you go to like All Star stuff like that, these clubs they charge a tip in. So the more ones your spot is generating, the more your tip in could be.
Okay.
So we made the tip in high because we gonna get the cream of the crop girls. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't no disrespect to Dayton girls, but they working at Fox 22 on Monday. They working at the 19th hole on Tuesday. And guys will come in and support them girls because that's your home girl. You grew up with her. You messing with her. You know, I'll come in and throw a couple hundred ones and because that's my home girl. I grew up with her. Or I done hit her a few times. Here go a couple hundred, baby, you know, and keep it moving. But it was a whole other atmosphere at the vault. We had people come and ordering 5,000 ones, 10,000 ones. Bengals players, people from all over. Just like, let me get 500, not 5,000.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And
it was a whole nother ball game.
And then on top of that, like how you mentioned, like you said the money team.
Yes.
Yeah, like how you said they'll get burnt out when it, like you said, no disrespect to the women who do that here, but if they go on and seeing the same females at every spot, then it's kind of like they might be getting burnt out on like.
And I kind of use that same platform that I use with them throughout my whole career. Like even till now, even though like the bar restaurant is a little bit different than the club scene, I try to still keep that same platform that I came when I came in the game. Like we started doing city versus city. We started doing Detroit versus Detroit takeover. So we would have all the top dancers from Detroit come down. All them girls you see on Tubi right now, all them girls that you see on them Tubi movies right now, most of them came through the vault. It was dancers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We had the LA takeover. We had the Miami takeover, Atlanta. Every major city, we got all the dancers from that popular club and made not only the vault, even when I transitioned to when it was Dream Divas, we made Dream Divas. I can go to Cincinnati, Miami, LA, any strip club in America right now, and they gonna know who B is. Like,
yeah, that's
yeah. If the same managers and owners there, because we was swapping girls out. I was taking girls to their city too. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Man, flowers got to be given to you though, and the promoters to be.
And not only that though, bro, it's crazy because a couple guys that I came and I wasn't taking it serious. A couple guys that I came into the game with right now are multi-millionaires off of their girls. This was before OnlyFans hit. Like, they was doing all type of online. They caught the first wave of it, so they really got a bag off of it. Merchandise, lighters, coffee mugs, calendars, T-shirts.
Innovative,
you know what I mean? Yeah, sign kind. And I had people coming to me wanting to do that type of stuff, and I'm like, because I was still 1 foot in over here, but this is what I was just really doing this for fun, not really thinking of the.
You saw that bag.
The bigger picture.
You saw that bag from the Natty in it. So I guess in a sense it was like not to say that you wasn't willing to do the work that came with it, but you still was just like you said.
My mindset wasn't there.
Yeah.
I was still trying to do something else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Man, so but yeah, bro, like I said, bro, just shouts out to you and like a lot of other people who was bringing that experience to the city, cause you know motherfuckers be putting on their Sunday best when they be like, you know what I mean, when they be shit going down though. So I commend you on that. So I got it in my notes, but I guess a little bit after that, when did you actually revamp the auto spot, Jefferson Auto Spot?
Well, I had been there off and on since about, like I said, I'm about to be 42. I had been there since I was about 25, off and on with different people. And I ended up just getting it by myself. And for the last maybe about 10, 15 years, I was there on my own by myself. And some years I'd be open, some years I'd be closed. You know what I mean? It's just, I was kind of doing it at my own discretion on my own time, for real.
Mm.
I literally just got the spot, just gave the spot up last year.
Oh, word.
Yeah, 2023, yep.
Okay. Damn.
So Mexicans got it, and the Mexicans, they taking over Jefferson Township too. Don't leave that, man. They buying up all the property, they buying up all the stuff on the countryside out there, and I feel like it's because they outworking us. They ain't giving nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But
ain't nobody giving them nothing.
But they got that stigma of like they got the money. It's like Arabs, like they got the money to get it, and they gonna run that motherfucker up.
Yeah, they grinding for it too, though. For real.
Was it tough to let it go?
Yeah, it was.
I can imagine. Like,
they getting ready to redevelop that whole area right there, though. They getting ready to put another strip mall and stuff right there.
Yeah, because that's down on the corner.
Yeah, they wanted to do a truck stop, but the neighborhood voted it out. So they getting ready to do. Then they wanted to do like another like Whitney Young, like a income
complex.
Yeah, income developed housing, but now they getting ready to turn it into a like a miniature truck stop, gas station, and plaza with like a McDonald's or something over there like that.
Okay, yeah, bringing something back, right?
Because you got the fairgrounds over there, so they trying to build up and bring more stuff out there.
Yeah.
They even talking about putting hotels out there in Jefferson Township, for real.
I mean, shit, when they moved the fairgrounds from what was it, downtown to over there, that was a hell of a fucking move.
Wow.
Like, for sure. As far as so with the fight night thing, you really got to go through that, or was that just the precautions of like
you do if you want to do it the right way. Because it's a big liability. Somebody get hurt, then you ain't got no insurance or none of that shit like that.
Right.
That fall back on you. So even though we didn't get sanctioned by the boxing commission, I still went all the necessary precautions without getting the okay from them. We still had a licensed doctor. We still had a nurse on staff. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We still had, just in case if something go wrong, we prepared in some type of form or fashion. You know what I mean? But yes, when you make any type of money off of boxing, you're supposed to be sanctioned by the commission.
That's knowledge for y'all niggas, man.
Yeah, for sure.
For real.
To do it the right way. And if you want to do something, do it the right way. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I tell anybody,
Cross your T's, dot your I's for that shit come back and bite you.
And then you have some longevity in it too, for real.
Yeah. Nah, that's solid, yeah. Mo put me on that too. Like, he's doing the fight night. I'm like, all right, bet, yeah. Because I remember all of that shit vividly, though. A couple of them times I was in Orlando.
Man, first one to ever do fight night in Dayton, and we wouldn't open the doors. The doors opened at 10. We would pull up at 8:30 to set the ring up. They'd be outside waiting to get in. Sheesh. The chains were still on the doors.
And this was the bikini boxing. Yeah, that's solid.
And then we started doing that same format. I started doing Dayton fighters versus Detroit, Dayton fighters versus, because they do bikini boxing in other cities.
Yeah.
So we did Dayton versus DC. We did Dayton versus Detroit. Dayton versus Atlanta. We did city versus city. Instead of using city girls versus city girls that kind of got burnt out real quick, we just added some excitement in it and started bringing people in from other places.
Same thing you did with the strippers.
Yeah, same platform, same format. Yeah.
Bringing different cities in, making it something worth watching.
And that was crazy. That was a time right there, bro. I'm talking about.
I can imagine.
That was crazy.
You said 8:30 and people out there.
It was at the door at 8:30.
What a time to be alive, man. Okay, so I want to get into Napoleons now, man, because I remember, like I said, we had the studio up there, and that's when I started going up there. We go up there and get drinks, and that's when RP Peyton.
Yeah.
And you know, it was a good vibe. And I remember I told this side story. I remember I telling my grandma like, yeah, I'm about to probably go to Napoleons, because I used to love. We was in Jefferson all the time. She's like, I used to go there in the '70s, and I didn't even know that Napoleons had that history of like just how long, you know, this Jefferson in its own sense.
Sure.
So, so like I said, Peyton was the owner for a long time. He used to walk through with his special cup and you know, hollering at the ladies. I remember a post you put up, and it was like, you was like, man, I finally got a bar that I can own. I can't remember it verbatim, but I know you was searching around trying to do something, but then I remember that post, and then later on you had announced that you had became the owner of Napoleons. Mm-hmm. So how was that transaction when Peyton, like, did you present it to him, or if you can speak about it, or how did it go?
Yeah, I can speak about it, but before I tell you that, my cousin sent me a picture the other day. They found one of the first liquor licenses issued for Napoleons, and it said 1968 on it. Yeah, Napoleons, I just recently thought that it opened in 69.
Yeah.
Well, then I seen the liquor license, it was 68. But it's a girl on Facebook. She be doing like Dayton history. You be seeing her reels, Mimi.
I just friended her, yeah. Bro. She got some good shit.
She got some good content,
Yo, shouts out to you, Mimi, because she been liking my stuff too. For sure. But I randomly came across her page.
She got some good content. She said, I don't know the truthness of it, but on one of her posts, she said Napoleons was called Casa something. I can't think of the name of it, but she said it opened in 1961.
Bro, I believe it, because she did some, even like I grew up in Trotwood, so she had some shit about Trotwood up there. I was like, I didn't even know this was that. So shouts out to her for the history, because I was scrolling on Facebook and I seen it, somebody shared it, and I was hooked for like 30 minutes. It was like 2 in the morning. I'm like, yeah. So yeah, that's crazy.
So how I got to Napoleons was, of course, I was doing a vault. Then we started doing, we ran the Union Hall out. Talib ran this course. And then I got to the Dream Divas. And then Dream Divas, we was doing the strippers there. That took off like crazy. Then they changed it to Plush. Well, when it became Plush, you had a new owner come in, and things just kind of got a little bit different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I tell people all the time, I'm getting ready to answer your question. This answering it, but something else too. But I tell people all the time, like, when you in this game, even my employees, like, if you the cook, you the bartender, you the dishwasher, the cleanup man, everybody is just as important as the owner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when I was at Dream Divas and I was at Plush, now that I see that you could really be successful in this business, I'm like, damn, I'm coming home $4,000 or $5,000 on a Thursday, but the owner, he going home with $30,000. You know what I mean? I'm like, man, one day I gotta own my spot. But I just sat back and played my position. I learned how the bartenders moved. I learned how the security moved, how the kitchen moved. I was just sitting back soaking up game, because that's like college in itself. You know what I mean? Like, I'm basically, this is my internship right here. You know what I mean? I'm learning everything, because I'm still learning. Even though I'm on the owner side now, it's a flip side. I'm still learning a lot, but it's like I'm getting $1 million worth of game for free.
Yeah.
Multi-$1 million worth of game for free. So I ended up kind of like getting burnt out. I got kind of pushed out for real. Like, you know, I think that the people that had came in, they was like, I think they felt like they could do what I was doing. They didn't have the connections that I had, though, because
you always gonna have them type of people.
And at one point in time, I didn't even have to reach out to people. People reached out to me. Like, it was just like a spiral effect. When we bring these girls in, and then now Instagram is at its all-time high. I got 10,000 followers on Instagram on my stripper page. My page got 10,000 followers. You know, my network was in the Midwest was like crazy. You know what I mean? So people was just reaching out like, I want to come work. We didn't have to recruit nobody, and we wasn't booking nobody. Yeah. We're not paying a booking fee. We're not paying nothing. You gonna come get this money, and that's it.
Period. Yeah.
You know what I mean? When I'm not paying you to come make $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000, you come and making more money than me. You know what I mean? So we didn't do no bookings, none of that. If you want to be a feature, send me a picture. We get your flyer, give you a date, and we had a whole lineup of people waiting, you know, like clockwork to be the feature, and that's how that.
Oh, y'all had an itinerary of like who come in.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. We had it down packed. So to get where I'm at now, Napoleons, like, I was about to get married. My girl was like, man, I'm tired of this. I don't want you to be in that strip club lifestyle. Like, you done made a little bit of money. You better invest in some of this or do this, do that, and the third. And true enough, I was literally just tired. I used to be the first one at work, last one to leave work, doing all the promotion, running all the pages, just doing everything for real.
Yeah.
And because it was kind of like my brand, dog. You know what I mean? And
it's your baby. I mean,
for
sure. You got to make sure, like,
and
everything right.
My security guard, which became one of my brothers, still one of my closest friends to this day, Big Backs. We was riding one day, and we went to this store. And I guess only a handful of people really know this story, but I guess now a lot of people gonna know it. We went to a Bed Bath & Beyond, and it was a lady, an older lady, she was helping us, and she was like, you don't know me, do you? And I was like, no, I don't know you. She asked my security guard, like, you don't know me neither. She was like, well, she's like, God speaks to me in mysterious ways, blase, blase, blah. She was like, you going through everything you're going through right now because that place got a dark cloud around it. She was like, that's not who you are, it's not who you stand for, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And she was like, I have to do God's work. I have to tell you that. She was like, but you're going to go through everything you're going through in life, and you're going to continue to go to it till you leave that place alone. She was like, that strip club ain't for you. She was like, leave.
You didn't even know her?
No. Never seen her a day in my life. We was like floored. Like, what you say? She was like, you heard exactly what I said. Like, I was like, wow. So I lit it. We left. I called my mom, like, man, you ain't going to believe it. I just met this lady, and she talking about the strip club. I ain't never met this lady a day in my life. But I was already struggling with leaving. I just didn't want to leave a brand that I had built and just leave it all behind. And now I'm not getting nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I was struggling with that. So about maybe a month later, I was sitting at work. I was just sitting there like how we sitting here chilling now. I looked around. I'm like, man, I'm gone. They're like, what you mean you gone? I'm like, I'm done. They're like, well, shit, if you done, we done. And we all just walked out and we left. Just left it all behind. You know what I mean? And I was sitting in my car wash. Fast forward from that day that lady had talked to me. It was maybe about 2 months later. I was sitting at my car wash. I got a phone call, and it was from the owner of the building. He's like, yeah, won't you come to my office? Come talk to me for a second. I went to his office, pulled up on him. It's like, man, he knew I was into the bar business.
You talking about Peyton?
No, it wasn't Peyton. It was the owner of the building. Peyton was just leasing yeah. And it was just like, you ever thought about getting Napoleons? He's like, the old man ready to retire. He ready to get out. And I was like, I was kind of done with the bar business, but he was like, I think it'd be a good fit for you. It's not like the nightclub. It's a bar restaurant. It's a little bit slower. It's a little bit more longevity in it. He was like, I think it'll be a good fit for you. So I got to thinking, like, you know what? Like, I think that might be a good idea. Yeah. So I left. Soon as I pulled out, this is how God works. Soon as I pulled out, Mr. Payton's niece called me like, hey, Brandon, my uncle would like to talk to you. So I left, went around to Napoleon's, and he basically gave me the spiel that the owner had gave me. Like, yeah, man, this Mr. Payton, he was like, I'm just tired, man. I want out. Like, the last little years of my life, I just want to relax and enjoy. I just want to retire and just, work in my garden and do stuff around the house and do this, that, and the third. He was like, I'm going to tell you what. He was like, I'm going to write down a number on a piece of paper. And he slid it to me. He was like, tell me what you think about it. And
real OG boss shit.
Yeah, for sure. He was like, don't say nothing. Just sleep on it for a couple weeks. And I left. And I immediately went back to the plaza owner. Like, man, did you talk to Mr. Payton? He's like, no, I hadn't talked to him at all. I was like, well, he just called me, asked me that I want to, buy Napoleons. And I was like, how much of a coincidence is that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, what'd he say? And he had that piece of paper he gave me, and I showed it to him. He was like, well, just counter offer him this and this, that, and the third. And I was like, well, I'm about to go get the money now because now my wheels is turning. I'm about to go get the money now. And he was like, nah, don't do that. Just wait. Like, I'm like, what if somebody bring the money and get it before me? He was like, if he reached out to you, he wants you to get it. You know what I mean? So now my wheels is turning. And about a week later, Mr. Payton called me like, man, come up and come see me. And I went to go see him. And He was just like, man, I'm ready to get out right now. What you think about that number I gave you? And I was like, it's cool. We can work on that. He was like, basically, like, disregard that. You can have this place.
What? Wait, it went from the number of what he had offered you to just it just was gifted to you.
Yep. He basically was like,
shit.
He was like, man, I got these stoves, refrigerators, I got all this stuff. He was like, man, I was around your age in my 30s when I got Napoleons. He was like, and a lot of people want this place. He was like, a lot of older people. He was like, it's a new day and age, you know what I mean? He was like, I don't want nobody old having this place. And maybe he saw something in me, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
maybe,
yeah.
You know, like I said, it wasn't nothing but God for real, but he was just like, just disregard that. He was like, you can have this place. He was like, I just want a couple knives and pots and pans so I can cook with at home.
Man.
He was like, yeah. So I did have to end up paying some type of money because he was like, basically the money that I got in, all the liquor I got in inventory, all my food, and a few knick-knack things that he wanted me to pay for. It ended up coming up to be a nice little amount, but it basically, for the amount that he wanted, it was still basically gifted to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So he just didn't want to leave all that what he already had invested in everything in there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Some type of incentive.
Yep.
Damn, that's a hell of a story, bro.
Real.
I never knew that. That is a blessing. And I done had God work in mysterious ways plenty of times, so that's solid, bro.
And not even that. When that happened and we end up shaking hands, the next couple days I went back out to that store where I had seen that lady at that had prophesied it to me, whatever she said, like, you know, you go through what you're going through until you leave that place. She was like, God gonna use you in so many different ways and bless you beyond measure, but you just gotta leave that place alone. You gotta leave. And so I went back to go tell the lady, like, what happened? Like, look, you're not gonna believe this. You know, they said that lady didn't work there. They ain't never heard of that lady before.
Man, you give me chills,
for
bro.
real, bro. This real.
I got chills right
talk.
now. Yeah.
You know how, like, on your receipt it show you the cashier's name and all that type of stuff like that? This was the lady that helped me pick my stuff out, cash me out. When we was walking out the door, my brother, my security guard backs, he can attest to this story. We was walking out the doors, we looked back, she was like, don't forget what I told you now. And I was like, I promise I ain't.
Yeah.
So I had to speak to the manager. I was like, man, I'm looking for some lady. She helped me get my place together. I just want to tell her thank you, you know, da-da-da-da-da-da. They got to looking around, asking people. They was like, we don't have nobody here by that name that work here. I was like, you got to. Like, look at the receipt.
Yeah.
He was like, they went and looked around and checked some shit out, some more shit. And truth be told, bro, they couldn't find this lady, bro.
That's deep, bro.
Not for real,
That's
bro.
really like
seriously.
Angel.
I only really told a handful of people this story, man. But I guess maybe it was time. You know what I mean? Like, that's for real. That's facts. Big facts. Yep.
Man, so, damn, bro. Yeah, shouts out to you on that. I real life got chills from that story. That's amazing. I want to tap in real quick. You mentioned Peyton was basically like, you know, he didn't want to give it to no older people or anything like that. So what did you find it being like difficult to like kind of rebrand it to like more of our age or our urban?
No, I knew that it was gonna take off like a rocket because again, I'm from Jefferson Township. A lot of the people that come in there, it's a community-based bar. A lot of people was mad that they didn't get it. They was in line. They was hating. All that young boy got it. They gonna run it into the ground. This, that, and the third.
All the slander.
The goddamn slander. And well, when I took over, Peyton still stayed there. He asked me to let him run it for about 4 or 5 months to shadow him, just to see like what worked for me for the last 40 some years. You know what I mean? And now after I show you the game, then you can take it and do what you want to do with
Revamp
it.
It. Yeah.
Let me just show you what worked for me, and if you want to use my techniques and the way that I ran things, then you can. And I implemented a lot of things that he did, and then my own sauce to it as well. So the transition wasn't really that hard. Like that's a brick and mortar. It was already, the business was already established there. So when I took over, I got my following plus his following that was there too as well. And anywhere you got good food, people gonna come regardless.
Absolutely,
so no matter who got it, you know what I mean?
Them goddamn baked potatoes.
And the reason I didn't change the name is because it's so much of a staple in the community. It's been there for so long. If I was to change the name to B's Place or whatever it may have been, people gonna still associate it. They gonna say, well, what's that? The old Napoleons.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
people
and
ain't
a lot
been
of
to Dayton.
businesses get that.
Right.
Like,
people ain't been to Dayton in 30 years, and they're like, meet me at Napoleon. Or they say, you ain't been to Dayton in 30 years, Peso. You're like, meet me at B's Place. What's that? The old Napoleons.
Yeah.
So it's like, why not keep them and get them their flowers and just name it Napoleons Reloaded and just revamp it a little bit? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because actually, Napoleons is Napoleon Smith. That's who owned the plaza, the black man who owned the plaza before this other guy came in and bought it.
Also, so they still keeping it. Yeah.
That was the name of the store, the grocery store. You remember the grocery store in the front?
Yeah, right on the corner. Yeah. We used to buy food out of there,
Speedway,
too. Yeah.
Mr. Smith, Napoleon Smith, was the original owner of that building. And the irony to that, before we move on, my grandfather bricked that building. Him and a guy named Mr. Boyd. They bricked that. They the ones that built that building.
Yeah.
So like, how was that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
man,
after all this time,
trickled down.
Yeah, my grandfather was the one that laid the bricks to that building because my grandfather was a bricklayer.
And not to be cliche, but man, just the path that you went on, like the even getting into the promoting and how that led up to just being around, getting to these people. You know, it would the intentions was there for it to be yours, not to be cliche with it, but it's so much connected history you already got with it. And man, that lady, for sure. That lady in the store.
That's why I say it's bigger than me, man. Napoleon's that's there for me to be a mentor to people in the community, older than me, younger than me, that, you know, seeing where I come from, that know that, like, look, you don't have to have this certain type of background. You don't have to have a schooling yet. Education is great, but no matter where you come from, bro, I can mentor to all walks of life that come in that bar. From you name it, from corporate people that come in there to drug addicts, drunks, you know, people that's dealing with stuff, you know what I mean? And God used me to that platform to be a blessing to a lot of other different people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Man, so knowing what you know now, which I think I know the answer to this, but is anything differently you would have did leading up to this point?
Far as what?
I mean, just see, that's what I'm saying. I already knew the answer to it. I mean, because it seemed like everything worked in your favor though, and then you didn't really let the self-doubt kind of hold you back, but just that like if you never met that lady, do you think you would have still stepped away?
Probably so.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I was on my way out. I think that just kind of was like confirmation and it
solidified it.
Yeah, I was definitely on my way out. Definitely.
Okay.
Now, was I thinking about doing the club stuff? My mind was totally somewhere different than doing the bar club stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But something just clicked in me, like, you know, it's an opportunity. You know, I've been out there hustling all my life. Here it is, a chance where I could be an owner. I can employ my family. You know, my daughter work with me now. You know, she 23 years old. She run my kitchen. So it's been a blessing for not only me, but people that's close around me. You know what I mean? Again, I can provide employment for the people in my community. Just, I mean, the number of opportunities that has presented for me. You know, it's not been an easy run, you know, and I felt like that's another reason why I was chose for it, because somebody else probably would have been broke a long time ago. Yeah. You know, because this ain't for the weak. Entrepreneurship, and I know you probably know, you know, it's highs and lows, ups and downs.
Man, winners come with losses, life, man.
But, man, I tell you, when I say I weathered every storm, and still weathering every storm that came my way. You know what I mean?
Period.
It's a whole nother lane than promoting. So anybody that's out there promoting and thinking about going into club or bar, restaurant, entrepreneurship, just know when you step into that realm from promoter to owner, that transition can be great because their brand is already built if they're a good promoter. You know what I'm saying? That brand is already built. So it could be a win-win situation for them, but just know it's a whole nother ball game too, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Man, before we wrap up, man, we really recently you just had the 7-year anniversary.
Actually, it's been 8.
8. I'm sorry.
No, it was 7. It was 7 years. But remember, I was saying I had bought it and I stayed up under him.
Oh,
for a
yeah,
bit.
yeah.
So
yeah.
I actually was there. Yeah, I actually been there 8 years. But Napoleons Reloaded 7.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just kind of counted as my 7-year anniversary because I officially opened up as Napoleons Reloaded 7 years. Yeah.
Man, how that feel though, man? Just through, like you said, weathering the storm, man, and you finally able to have like technically 8, but to the public, a 7-year anniversary of having
And
this blessing.
I can't do nothing but thank God, bro. Like it's like I said, it's been a blessing. It's been a life-changing experience, not only for me but everybody around me. And again, I just stick to the script. When I shook Mr. Payne's hand, he was just like, "It's 2 things I asked you to do." He said, "And you'll be here forever. You'll get money forever. You'll be like me. You'll be 80-something, get money if you do this."
Yeah.
He was like, "Just follow the law and don't play with nobody's liquor. Don't cut no liquor." He said, "And if you do those 2 things,"
people can.
he said, and I ain't never play with the liquor. We sell nothing but real liquor at Napoleons Reloaded. Everybody out there, and I could have been had strippers up there. I could have been staying open to 4 or 5 in the morning, but that stuff, you're gonna have a short run.
Yeah.
I close at 2:30. I follow the law, pay my taxes, do what I'm supposed to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Keep that longevity.
I mean, unless it ain't meant for us to be there, like we still here. A lot of places come and go. You know what I mean? Like we still here and we want to stay here. You know what I mean? I want to create generational wealth because it ain't really about me no more. I done it all, had my fun. It's about my kids that's getting older, that's coming up. You know, I want to be able to pass that to my daughter or my son if that's what they want to do. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And let them do what they do.
Pass it down. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we want to get a couple other different ones. We want to expand out and branch out. You know what I mean? Like, and we don't have a big lavish spot or nothing like this. You know, we're not downtown, this, that, and the third. But again, that's a staple in the community, and it's a pioneer stone in Dayton, Ohio. No matter how you want to put it, you know what I mean. Napoleon's been there again since, from what the Mimi girl was saying, 1961. Man, it's 2024, bro.
Yeah, that's,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Like,
so keeping it going.
I done knocked out 7, 8 years, but we got a long way to go.
Only 7. We got 70 more.
Yeah, but I'm still learning, still evolving, and you know, taking it one day at a time.
Period.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, the question I ask everybody, man, what's a good quote or a piece of advice that you live off of?
Chances make champions.
Simply.
Yeah, for sure.
Simply.
Yeah, shout out to my cousin Doc, man. He told me that a long time ago. Like, you know, chances make champions, man. The bigger the risk, the bigger the reward. You know what I mean? And I had a lot of people, I was groomed well at a young age. I jumped off the porch early, you know. My cousin Doc, you know, my brother, AK, he down there in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. You know, just, and a lot of the OGs from Jefferson, I think that's what we missing now. Like, when I grew up, I was hanging around older guys. You know what I mean? And they wouldn't let us go out here and do no stupid stuff. They wouldn't let us be out here just running with, as the old folks used to say, running with chickens with your head cut off. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And they see us cutting school. Nah, nigga, you go to school. You know what I mean? We won the state when we was in school. Go to practice. Go do this. They would let us do whatever we wanted to do. Drive their cars, give us money, let us wear their clothes, and you know, whatever it wanted to be. But we had to do what was right. You know what I mean? They wasn't letting us run around out here being disrespectful. And I think that's kind of like where the younger generation from now, where the disconnect is. We don't really hang out with young. For one, they out the chain. You know what I mean?
Facts.
You know
what I mean?
And they don't listen. We
it's
listen.
A select few,
you know, Our generation, I felt like we listen a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's kind of like where the disconnect is now with the younger folks. But, you know, even when they come into the bar, I try to, the ones that listen, I try to talk to them, you know what I mean? And some of them listen, some don't. And even if they don't listen, it's been embedded in them, that seed been planted. And one day, one day they might wake up and be like, you know what? Like, damn, OG told me this or B told me this, you know what I mean? Because I didn't listen to everything, but that seed definitely was planted in.
At the right moment, it'll click. That's happened to me plenty of times. Advice that hit years later, like, damn, like somebody did tell me that. Man. But, man, I appreciate you. I appreciate the honesty, the transparency, man.
Sure.
Like, I think this was a very, very knowledgeable podcast.
Yeah, no doubt.
I don't know if you have did many pods or anything, but I'm just glad.
I did a few of them. Yeah, we did a few. Me and Bobo, actually, we was all supposed to do one out of bar owners from Dayton was supposed to do one with Jenny.
Yeah.
On DATV.
Yeah.
Yeah, me, Bobo, Dion. There's a few of us. We was all supposed to be on there, and we had some bad weather that day. And me and Bobo was the only ones that made it. But yeah, we was all supposed to get on there and just talk about our experiences and, you know, how we came about. Kind of like how, you know, but a broad overview of everybody together.
I ain't gonna
what we deal with and all that type of stuff like that.
You just gave me an idea to maybe
do
that, like for real though, like on wax. But man, thank you, bro.
For sure.
Make sure y'all fuck with Napoleons Reloaded.
No doubt.
It's a staple. It's a vibe up there. Chill, great food, pool table. My man revamped it. It's dope, man. Thank you, brother, again.
For sure. Yes, sir.
Dreamers
I
welcome.
thank you. I thank you for real.
Man, I've been timing, but I've been waiting to do it. It was perfect
sure.
timing,
Yep.
man. Dreamers Welcome Podcast. Y'all keep dreaming. We out.
Yes, sir.
Dreamers Welcome Podcast.